We have an outstanding student from the batch of 85 who has created an image and identity of his own in field of media. He is one of the finest and most respected, most loved photojournalists in Bangalore, presently working with Bangalore Mirror.
Ladies and gentlemen, do I have to tell the name? Come on, clap it out for him. He is the most outstanding student. Outstanding is a word. And friends, I can vouch for him because I have had the privilege to work with him. Ladies and gentlemen, a dear friend and a very, very hardworking and the most sincere person I think all of us have ever seen. Do you agree? Yes? Absolutely. The mic goes to him, Ananta.
Thank you, Sheetal. This outstanding terminology has a big story behind it. I'll tell you later. First of all, none of us are here professionals, so we might fumble, we might do some mistakes. Please bear with us. It's not like we have felicitated teachers, yes, of course, but we are honored because of your presence here, ma'am and sir. We feel very grateful because when we came and requested you to be here, you're all here. We are very thankful for that. We are all grown-ups now. We have our own businesses or professions, yes. But despite our busyness, we are traveling somewhere in a busy traffic. Suddenly you spot a teacher. You immediately stop, whether it is no parking or whatever, you will run to your teacher. Do you agree? Yes. And it is inhuman to think that every teacher should remember their students. But when we go and approach them, ma'am, I'm Ananta, your student, her face would brighten up. She would say, oh, Ananta, look at you, how you have grown up. So that would be the response. I have never seen any teacher saying that, oh, sorry, I have forgotten. This has never happened with me, at least. I think with none of us it would have happened. Okay. There are some students who have brought laurels to, as everyone said, Harinath, and there was one more girl, Umaji. And I have had the privilege of studying with both of them. I'll come to that again. Okay. In a class, you have brilliant students. Like Harinath, of course, made the school famous. But in a class, there are brilliant students. There are very good students. There are some bad students whom teacher would remember. But there are outstanding students, yes, I represent them, who no one would will ever remember. Because most of the time I was standing outside the class. Reasons are so many. Yes?
So that is outstanding.
Yes. And so my memory would always be, whenever I am standing out, I would dread seeing Fatima's sister. She would come strolling that morning round and she used to stumble on me. What did you do today? I forgot my homework book. I'll tell your father, because my father was the school photographer. And since I never had any identity, I used to take my father's name. Madam, I am photographer, son Ananta. Oh, you, okay. Okay, that was the case with me. And sometimes, Fatima's sister suddenly used to come inside to just peep whether I was present or not. Because whenever I get up in the morning, the first thought would be how to bunk the school today. Except HIV and cancer, I have manufactured almost all the diseases to bunk the class. To make my parents believe at first place. We had that diary and 2 pages for leave reasons. Within 3-4 months, that page would be full and you need a magnifier to see what was the reason for my absence today. With my parent signature. And mathematics, my God, that was I dread mathematics even today. And I was not so good in other subjects also. It's not like only mathematics. And I don't know whether Shanbhagavali Miss remembers this or not. Once I had scored a perfect not in a test. I don't know how this happened. At least one right answer would have done. But when I showed the marks card to my dad, he said, why is this 0? You should have scribbled something, at least you would have got 1 mark. I simply said, no dad, paper's gone missing, they misplaced the paper somewhere. So I don't know whether they remember this or not, but this was the fact. And I never in my wildest dreams ever thought that my dad would end up coming to HM's room next day. I never thought that it would happen. So I was summoned. When Aya came and told Ananta, HM karita idare abba bega. So I go, my father is here, Shanbhagalim is here, and Fatima's sister standing in her chamber. So she has, Shanbhagalim Miss had my masterpiece in her hand. It never went missing, which was supposed to be. So it was all crosses. Even from telescope to microscopes, nothing would have found the right answer in that. It was all crosses. Even Jesus Christ didn't save me from disgrace that day. So, you know, that's why Sheetal probably called me outstanding student. Yes, all said and done, sometimes school used to surprise me. You know, we used to get our results in inland letter, promoted or detained. I was always prepared for detained, and to go and tell my dad that, sorry, this has happened, but my father was also prepared. If you are interested, tell me, or else I'll put to you a hotel, you can start working instead of schooling. He was also prepared that I would fail. I was also prepared. But suddenly, sometimes I used to see promoted. Huh, what happened? Where did I go right this time? Arey yaar. Yes, of course, ma'am. So, when I went and told my dad, Arey yaar, if you had detained, you had at least chance to study this class some more better and, you know, proceed. But next class is going to very tough beta. What are you going to do? You tell me now also I can put you some hotel for job. So this was the relationship both me. He was very funny, of course. He never punished me as, you know. But all said and done, we had the wonderful time. Our generation, probably after that, no one would ever had this kind of fun, this kind of, because nowadays, teacher can't scold children. Whatever they do, it is called corporal punishment or whatever. So we have had best of the time in our school. We were street smart. We have created our own path, and that is because of our teachers who they taught us. Like I have had the opportunity of studying with Harinath, Umaji, and most of your siblings like Ashoka Bhai, Kishore, Velaka Bhai, Selva, so many. So you know, 6th ke baad 7th ke baad 8th mein fail hua, 8th ke baad 9th. Then even school thought it was enough for me, so I had to leave my school by 9th. I did my private SSLC privately, and in my second attempt I finished it successfully. and I'll tell you, ma'am, and to be very frank with you, I never had a college life. I had to start working when I was in 10th because of so many other crises. Whatever schooling, whatever classmates, whatever experience I had of a classroom, it is here in Lourdes High School. Nowhere else. Okay, so I am very honored to be here today, and thanks for giving me an opportunity. But despite all my ordeals, I had a dream. I had a dream of being a journalist or a filmmaker. These two dreams I had. And I had to fight with my father to take up the camera. He never wanted me to be a photographer anyway. But I took photography to enter into journalism field. And that opportunity came in 1996. So this is my 21st year. From Veerappan to Kargil War, from LTT attacks in Colombo to sporting event across the world, I have covered everything. I am very much contented, and I always like to live my life with whatever I get. I don't dream. And apart from you teachers, the failures were my biggest teacher. I am never afraid of failures. This is what a springboard for my achievements, whatever I say. I am never afraid of failures. I always like to take chances, whatever it comes. Now I work with Bangalore Mirror, which is Times Group newspaper. And when I was in Rajasthan Patrika, first time I had to, gate crash our school program that was held in, I think it was 50th Golden Jubilee year. I gate crashed and I saw it that somewhere our school photo had come, that functions picture. So, and thanks to the technology, WhatsApp and CP Harinath, I never thought this group would grow in such enormity, and within such a short time we have though it looks very well planned, I thought it is much beyond our planning. It is going on very well. Thanks to all my classmates, thanks to teachers for being here, and thanks for listening to me, this outstanding student. Thanks.
It's always been a pleasure. 3 cheers to you, Anand.